Hello. Oh shoot. It's Cindy here, and it looks like I'm raining stars on Insta. Hi you guys, Cindy here on Facebook, Instagram. I'm, with my little setup here, I am doing my best to be in all places. So happy Friday. I'm super fired up today. So just beware of that. And I'm so excited to be here with you guys. And I'm so excited to share this message and support you around creating the kind of relationships that you want. If you don't know me, my name's Cindy Olin. I'm a love and relationship coach. I do support women around creating the kind of connection that's authentic to them and opening up their hearts to receive and give lasting love. Sounds great, right? Well, today we're going to talk about creating a deeper, authentic connection, whether that's dating or in relationship. So I want to share something with you. If you're out there dating and maybe you feel like your first dates are awkward, or maybe you feel like you can't get a word in edgewise, or the guy keeps talking about himself and maybe his accomplishments, or the things that he's saying that you might be thinking in your brain, this guy's trying to impress me. I don't really care about that. I don't care about your car, your boat, your trophies, whatever it is. You may or may not be that impressed by that piece. So what I'm going to share with you is, first, have empathy and compassion for a man when he does that, because he is really simply trying to let you know that, he can in some way show up for you, protect and provide for you. He wants to impress you. And I always think it's cute when guys share their accomplishments or share things about themselves that they're proud of. And, as women too, and I want to share this really quick. I feel something in my heart feels called to share this. Sometimes as women, we feel like we need to measure up too. So we need to share with them about our accomplishments and that we're so great at this and that, so it becomes a competition, and we start to try to prove ourselves. And, as a heads up, men don't really want to compete with you. They, of course they want to know that, you know who you are and you're excited about your life and the things that you're doing. But, oftentimes, especially if you're a successful woman, a woman who knows who she is, we can get into that competitive thing that never really ends well. It actually neutralizes attraction on the man's part, and it doesn't always do so on the women's part, and we sometimes feel bewildered. So I want to talk about creating deeper connections. Deeper connections are important, and I want to share that it doesn't always happen on the first date. Sometimes you might even try to get deeper, and I'm going to give you 3 ways in order to do that today. And part of the reason why it doesn't always happen on the first date, it may happen on the second date or the third date, is because he's nervous too, and he's warming up to you, and he's trying to figure out, he's trying to, he's wearing this mask to actually impress you. And he's thinking about all the ways within which he can do that. So for you ladies, I think it can be difficult when you're in this position. It can also be difficult when we're worried about what he's thinking about us. So he's kind of thinking the same thing too. But if you just take a deep breath and relax and allow yourself to ask questions, to, ask questions that may be a little bit deeper, that are avoiding the career track, that might be, talking about passions, like what are you passionate about? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What do you like to do for fun? And, and again, don't get into competition around that. Maybe he says traveling, and, you've traveled all across Europe and, South America. It's not about, who's done more. So I want you to remember that. It's about, oh, wow, I remember I visited the Amalfi Coast too, and I just, I felt that this was the most beautiful part. What about you? So, comparing experiences and really looking to learn something about them, getting and giving them space to open up to you. This is so important, you guys. This is what creates deeper connection, and is literally asking him a question and giving him a longer time to give an explanation. I talked about this earlier this week, and I've talked about this before. It's like, what are you passionate about? And he might go, well, I don't know. Good question. And men, what I love about men is they tend to really think about, well, what am I passionate about? What makes me tick? It could be anything from, who knows, they love golfing to, could be, it doesn't matter, but, and let them think about that deeper, and they'll go into a deeper level. If you interrupt that, oh, you're passionate about golfing, where do you golf? It just, yeah, I love golfing because, my dad and I used to go out and golf, and it was the time where we bonded together. What was great for you about that time? Why did you, what did you appreciate most about that? Asking deeper questions to get to know someone more, to get to know how they think, and what makes them feel. And when you have that space, it actually creates polarity, and it gets you into that feminine, compassionate place. It's a beautiful thing that women have the ability to do with men. And there's a safety that's created, and actually a vulnerability that they feel when they're able to go a little bit deeper with you. And you're able to ask questions and stay present. So the important thing is, you guys, is to stay present and not be thinking, 5 dates down the line when you guys are, taking a trip to the mountains or something, and, sharing the beautiful sights and a hike, and, a long romantic kiss, or, you know what I mean? So it's really important to try to stay present. That creates a deeper connection. It can be hard to stay present, you guys. I've done some exercises with my clients around, I want you to imagine, you could actually do this with a friend of yours. I want you to, you could get into a dyad position and, have the person that's across from you think about, their grocery list, or what they're doing this weekend, and all their plans and all the things that they're doing. And then you're talking to them about, I don't know, it could be, and something that you're excited about, or an upcoming trip, or, a new event that's happening in your life. Maybe you're moving, maybe you're, going to do something that you're excited about. And notice how you feel when someone's not really with you. Notice how, sorry, Facebook, I'm talking to Instagram a lot. Notice how you feel when someone's not really connected and present with you. Notice how you talk. We tend to speed up when we don't think people are listening to us. And we might shut down, we might, it feels awkward. Well, imagine being on a date and your mind is a million miles away and he can feel it. You can feel it when somebody's disconnected and it feels a little awkward and uncomfortable. So, and you've probably noticed that with men in reverse, or if he's checking his phone or, you know, doing things like that. And by the way, creating deeper connections does not mean being on your phone when you're on a date. It means, you know, committing to being totally present, whether you're with them an hour or, you know, however long that is. As you're, you know, early dating, just getting to know someone, a first, second date, there's no reason to be together much longer than an hour. It's, you know, second date, you could build up to more, but what I'm sharing with you, why I'm sharing this with you guys is because you can evoke much more of a connection that way. And all of us really want a connection. All of us really want to be seen. And also sharing something about you that's vulnerable. You know, and it could be anything. It could be from, you know, the standpoint of, you know, wow, you know, just had this thing happen. You know, my friend's husband just died, and you know, they didn't plan that well financially. They've got kids, and you know, it made me start to think about, you know, planning and you know, what that looks like, and creating some investments, and you know, my retirement, my future, you know, that sort of thing. So those are vulnerable things, or something that you're scared to share that can create a connection, and not worrying about what that other person thinks. I think that is so key in creating deeper, authentic connections. We won't create deep, authentic connections if we're clear over, if we're not present in the moment. And if he's not present, you can feel it when somebody is not really with you, or they're with you, but they're not, and they're with you in fleeting moments. And, you know, I want to talk to you a little bit about dating and, you know, creating deeper connections is, you know, it's a process, it's a journey. It takes time to go deeper and deeper, because not only are you building trust with someone, he's building trust with you. And if you've had trauma in the past, my guess is he's probably had some trauma in the past. And, you know, you may have experienced something in your life where, you know, when you were vulnerable or shared something that meant something to you, that it wasn't safe, it got turned around on you, or you felt exploited. You know, it's learning to be okay with those parts of yourself and not allowing that to affect your ability to share who you are authentically with people. Tweet that. I like that one. So I hope this helps you in that sense of, you know, when we're able to be real with what's coming up for us. And I don't mean throwing up on someone. It's, you know, it's a gradual thing. What happens is it starts to create this deeper bond of connection and trust, and also the ability to look at what your fears are. What are you afraid of? when you've trusted in the past. And I would encourage you to take a look at that. And what has happened? Are you focusing on the things that have happened in the past, the things that have hurt you? You know, I know that sorry guys, hurt people, right? We're all hurt. We've all been hurt to a certain degree. We've all experienced pain. And when we get triggered, a couple things can happen: fight or flight. We can go into a hurting mode unintentionally. And sometimes it's intentional. I think rarely people try to hurt people out. You know, I truly believe that it's from that it comes from our brokenness and the places that we're afraid to go. So it's easier to push away. Anyway, I want to get into this dating piece that I feel is really important. You know, a lot of times women, when they meet men and they really like him and he seems to like her and he's asking you to be exclusive right away, and you know, women will easily go into relationship mode when it hasn't graduated to that place yet. Even if he asks you to be exclusive right away, he's still in the getting to know you phase. He's still in the, you know, she seems like she's great. She'd really like my sister. My sister would love her. I could see her at a family function. You know, I imagine us traveling, or, you know, I could see these things. You know, men will oftentimes share those things that are on their mind. It's called trying you on. And they are in the dating mode. They're in the exploratory phase. And it's important for a woman to not go, you know, into relationship mode. You get to go into, and that's why, you know, we can set the pace, and not jumping into a commitment too soon is really serious, is important. You know, creating that friendship, creating that base foundation of who are you, who am I, what are the cracks in our foundation, how can we show up. And you know, one of the reasons why, you know, divorce is so painful and death is painful too, is because you see this in families all the time with death, is that it brings out a side of people that can be pretty ugly, or it can bring out a side of people that are, sorry, my phone rang. It can bring out a side of people that are really compassionate. So it's a trigger. It's a grief version. It can bring out, you know, an obsessive side. You know, breakups do that too, and I'm going to talk about that more next week. But you know, you guys, to create a deeper connection with someone is also to be authentic. Like, I just really want to get to know you. I want to know who you are. I want to know what makes you tick. I think you've got a really amazing smile, and complimenting them and creating that space to do that. And not everybody's going to play with you that way, and that's okay. It's quite all right. And maybe even the person that you want to play with you that way, you're like, oh, he's so cute. He seems to have all these qualities that that are on in my values. And, you know, he's not there on that vibrational level. Maybe he's not that time, but give it another shot, right? And I think that's a really important piece for you guys to look at. And let me know if this helps too. I'd love to hear your comments below. Let me know, is this helping you? What do you, I would invite you to slow down, listen to learn, and ask questions that are going to evoke something deeper from a man, someone that you're connecting with. And, you know, play is a really bonding thing. Joking around, doing something active. I think that, you know, the classic going to dinner or, you know, drinks or whatever you do, it can actually create a space to where you get to be perfect, I get to be perfect. But if you're on a hike together or you're on a walk, men tend to open up when they're walking shoulder to shoulder with you. And they do really well. That's why in boardrooms, men tend to sit, you know, kitty corner from each other, or at bars, they sit shoulder to shoulder. I mean, that's usually how bars are anyway, but they were designed for that. Men connect better that way. And as women, you know, we're so used to looking at each other, and it's not about not being able to look at them and look, you know, into a man's eyes, because I think that's important too, but you want to be able to, you know, have the ability to open up authentically. So if there's a hobby that he likes to do, then you'll definitely have that ability to do something with him. You know, it could be anything. It could be, you know, hitting golf balls. I don't know why I'm thinking about golf today, but I am. It could be just doing something that isn't of the norm, so you can allow yourself to create a deeper connection while dating. And then you might be going, well, Cindy, you know, you always coach around letting him lead. Well, you can, yes, I do. And you can open up the conversation. If he goes, gosh, I'd really like to see you on Saturday. Awesome. I would love that too. What do you have in mind? Well, I was thinking we'd go out to dinner. Anything else? You know, you can always give him, you know, a meal is always nice. What else were you thinking? What else did you have in mind? What else do you like to do? And they will, you know, they'll start to open up around things, and then you can hop on it and say, oh my gosh, that sounds like so much fun to go to Dave & Buster's and play on the video games. I really suck at air hockey, but I'm gonna, you know, play you anyway. I'll definitely beat you in foosball, you know. So having some fun and, you know, knowing that that can create bonding and connection. Men definitely bond through experiences, and they bond through conversation too. It depends on the man. It depends on what makes him tick, and it depends on his sensitivity level. You know, not all people or men are created equal, and some men are a lot more on the thinking side, processing side, analytical side, which may make it a little bit harder for you to penetrate the real person. It's, you know, and I'm going to talk about, you know, our masks that we wear and the things that we inadvertently do, either subconsciously or consciously, that create inauthenticity and actually it makes it impossible to create a deep connection and a real connection with a partner. So that's all I've got for today. Go practice that partner thing that I mentioned to you. Let me know how that goes. And please, you guys, I would invite any one of you to direct message me around an area that you're feeling, that you're challenged with in dating or relationship. Maybe you feel like you want to get to a deeper level. Maybe you feel like he's distracted and you don't know how to approach it, or you don't want to rock the boat because you don't want to lose him. But, are you willing to run the risk of not going there and not opening yourself up vulnerably so that you can create a deeper connection and it's safe? And maybe that trust is broken, and maybe it's not. And maybe, you struggle and you go through times where it's not always easy, but there's a learning experience there. And it opens you up to a deeper level of depth with one another. That's what I love about relationships. They can go to new heights and new places if we allow them to, and we're willing to share the parts of us that we might feel shameful about. We might feel that are our broken pieces. So that's enough out of me today. I'm sending you guys so much love. Have an amazing weekend. Mwah. Bye, Instagram. Hold on. I'm going to say bye to Facebook too. Bye, Facebook. Mwah.